everyone, and thank you so much for joining me. Dexter is doing his thing over there in his little scratchy box, so hopefully he'll calm down as we craft. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so excited to be here with you today. The last time I had a power outage, and I was not able to join you, and I so look forward to these lives and crafting with you guys. So we're going to take a look at Botanical Illustrations, which is an older set, but it's in the sale. So I kind of scavenged the sale today. Hi, Tracy. I scavenged the sale today and I'm like, ooh, what do I want to craft with? So I'm going to switch over to my other camera. It was a tough choice. So I'm going to show you the other one I almost went with because it's such a tough choice. And then so the Essential Sentiments isn't on there. This is just the die. We're not using the hot foil plate today, but I wanted to show you a little trick with it. So we're going to use that for our sentiments. I have some A2 cardstock ready to go. I'm using the beautiful Amy Tan inks today. So we're going to have a play with those. As you know, I love bright colors. So this is where my problem, and of course our stamp wheel. I mean, we can't do a project without the stamp wheel. So my huge problem, we have Keisha behind the badge today. So if you want to say hello to Keisha there, she's going to handle everything. And welcome Keisha as well. So we have this is the one I went with because I love the leaves, but this is also a fave. Like, I love this. And this is in the sale this week, guys. So check it out. Another thing I love, and it's somewhere on my desk. I can feel it. I know some of you out there know it. It's there, just not where it is. That's the situation I'm in. But the brick 3D embossing folder is also another love of mine. So it was a tough decision, but in the end, I went with Botanical Illustrations. And I will tell you, there is a die set. I don't have the die set for it, which we're going to make 1-layer cards today, or we can fussy cut because Altenew has these amazing fine blade scissors as well. So maybe we'll fussy cut. Let's see how the day goes. All right, so we're going to get started. And if you want to, you could trim this out now because eventually we'll stamp our sentiments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock because if you're going, ooh, that might fit in the mini. Oh, yeah, that was my thought. Well, one of my thoughts. So I thought, this would be great. Now we also have, they're one of my favorites as well, the Essential Sentiments, Featured Sentiment strips. Those are rounded. So this gives you, that nice, flat edge. There we go. I can't think today. That could be a problem. I can't think. Hello, everybody, as you're coming in. Hello. All right. So we got this. So let's trim this down. Then I'll show you a little trickaroo. Because we love the trickaroos, don't we, in crafting? They save us time. They make our projects look amazing. So super duper exciting. So we're going to go ahead. We still need embossing machine music. That's one thing we got to put in for a request, like something fun, upbeat. Okay. So put him back in his home, maybe. I have a 2-sided table. Sometimes when I put him back in his home, he knocks stuff off the other side. All right. So I have this and they're all trimmed out. There's one that didn't, and I could send it back through, but that's fine. I can trim it out myself with my scissors. I think I need new plates. I have not had new plates since I bought it. And that can be bad because, want a perfect cut. We also have a metal shim for the mini that helps. All right. So I'm rubbing that on my skin because what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave these. I want these to stay in here, but I don't want this tape to be as strong as this tape is because this tape is awesome. The satin masking tape, it is the bestest there is. So we're just going to go ahead and we want them to stay in there. So again, just your skin is oily. That's the best way to do it. And for me, it doesn't have fur. If I put it on my clothes, it will most definitely have fur. All right. So there. Then I can lift my die out and push it as you go. Okay. And then you have little sentiment strips. So I love a sentiment strip because it never fails. Woo! They are sticking in there. It never fails when I go to, and I don't need the lining. When I go to stamp it, like I feel like I'm stamping straight and then I'm not. So I love having these little strips. I should maybe have put more tape, but that's okay. All right, so there, we've got the die off. Woohoo, there we go. So see, I have all these little strips that I can now stamp onto. So very, very fun. Good idea to do that. Oh, Tracy, I have enough to film. I have enough space to film. Okay, here we go. Let's get piece cardstock. Now I'm going to go in the center, okay, or center-ish, center-esque, whichever way you want to say it. We do have, if you want to be a precise crafter, we do have the stamp wheel center alignment guides, which are super great. Okay. That will make sure you are perfectly centered. I just want to get in the zone so that I have room for my stuff to stamp. So I'm not looking to be precisely in the center. Now that would be super important if you were doing a wreath like that with the stamp wheel. Super important. You want to make sure you're nice and centered. So those are absolutely fabulous. Yes, if you are able to watch the rest later if you need to leave. Yes, Ginger, this will be up on YouTube. It's almost instantaneously up. So it'll be up there for you. All right. And I apologize in advance. I think this is going to be a furry situation because I already see some little pieces of fur or I never claim responsibility, but that could be my hair. So, all right. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I think we'll start there. You could at this juncture, because I think I'm going to put a floral in here. You could at this juncture go ahead and start masking, but I think we'll stamp this and we will fussy cut. Woohoo! Yay, fussy cutting or cranky cutting as I call it. But I haven't been doing it a lot lately, so I think we need to be doing it. All right. I know. I love big stamps. I love big stencils. I like things that are prominent and like, whoa, right there. All right. Because I think it's one of those things for those, my fellow scrapbookers that are out there. And thank you for winter in the East Coast. I can just use my hands to push down my image. Oh, look how pretty. Now, for me, I could just put a sentiment on here and have a little bit of maybe splatter. Okay, let's do that for our first card. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, so we're just going to leave that there. And this one, this is a good one. This is a really good one. Okay, and I'm just going to wiggle it just a little bit because I think I'm good. But that's always our famous last line, right? I think I'm good. I think it's straight. I also have a T-square ruler. So I could, if I wanted to be precise, I could also get out my grid flip plate as well. Okay, so this is flat on the top. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put this right up in there. And I'm just going to put my sentiment and I'm going to snuggle it up against my ruler. Take the ruler out, move that, and then leave my stamp there. I think we were pretty close. Okay, and I'm going to use my flip plate the other way. So I'm going to pick it up here. Okay, then I'm going to come over here with my obsidian because obsidian, love obsidian. Okay. So the project, I did warn Keisha that it is a crafty adventure. I do go off script. I have a plan. Do we ever really meet the plan? Not really. We have a lot of tangents and side trips. Okay. So far you're kind of like, well, it's pretty, but I don't know. You know, it's missing a little something. Then you bring out the gold. You bring out the gold. That's the solution, the gold. And a puppy pad would be useful at this very moment. Oh, there we go. Trying to pull one without pulling items as well. Oh, I got to clean my craft room. I got to start building that into my schedule, like an hour a week or maybe 4 hours a week and, just start planning that. Okay, so we've got this, and then I'm just going to give this a shakeroo. Yeah, yep, you can just do that. So you can use both sides of your flip plate. Okay, and so I'm just getting little things. I mean, you could pull out the sequence. You could do all kinds of things. I think as well, I have black cardstock near me. I don't have any glitter right next to me. If I did have glitter next to me, I would suggest what you could do with this. If you're like, well, this is a little too simple, it needs a little zhuzh. If you need a little zhuzh, what you can do, trim this down to 4 by 5 1/4, okay? And then put some gold cardstock on the side. I think for me, I'm going to trim it down to that size, but I'm just going to go ahead and put it on some black. The other option you could do, I don't know if I have any here. Oh, I do. Okay. The other option that would look pretty fancy too is look at that. So let's do that. We're here. Let's do it. Let's go for it, my friends. Okay. Did I get my trimmer back? I did get my trimmer back. Yay. My son came over to make a scrapbook for his fiance for Christmas, and some of my supplies got taken to other spots. All right, so we're going to go to 4. Okay, and I'm being careful because my splatter may not be completely dry. So we'll go to 4. Okay, and I think I'm going to go just to 5 1/4 here. Normally what I would do is I would trim off half from the top, half from the bottom for my 1/4 inch, but that's all right. We're just going there. Okay. So again, I think this would look lovely on black cardstock as well. But here we go. Look how simple. We didn't even use a flower. It's just a super simple card. That way, no, there's no green in the gold. It's it actually, when it dries, I think it's good in between the antique gold pigment and the enchanted gold pigment. It's somewhere in between there. And then this is an obsidian, the sentiment, the phrase. And this is the brushed gold cardstock. So yeah, so there you go. And I'm going to gut this before I glue it down, meaning cut out the center because I don't want to waste even a centimeter. So there's your first card. And I think it's really elegant. It's really pretty, and it's really, really simple. Oh, this is the brushed gold. So let me show you the package here. So there's the brushed gold metallic cardstock, and it doesn't have a green. There's no green hue to it. It may just be, sometimes on camera it's hard to see. Check out the website. Maybe it will look less green on there for you. We do have our products over there, so you can take a browse and a look as well. Okay, so I'm going to pull off, trying to be careful not to get obsidian on my fingers, but I'm usually covered in obsidian. Okay, so we're going to do this again because our original card idea was to build a whole card here. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to use a floral and everything. Okay, so here we go. And again, I'm just guesstimating that this is the center. Just a guesstimation. I'm happy with that layout. Now, what I mean when I say that is you're like, layout, you just have one stamp there. What are you talking about, silly girl? What I mean is this is from the old scrapbooking days. So if you were a scrapbooker, you remember you don't want a lot of trapped space. This is trapped space. It's trapped in between those leaves. So what I try to do is I try to get most of something touching and not leaving a lot of white space in there. So what you can do, I mean, you can layer images so that it kind of takes some of that away. I could stamp this and then trim it down to a 4 by 5 1/4 or a 3 3/4 by 5. So you could do that as well. So, but we're going to stamp this. We will get that stamped down again. I think also a fun technique with this would be to do some mirror stamping, which you can just do with your ultra sticky mat. So you could mirror the branches together. I'm a leaf girl. I look at a floral and I'm like, ooh, let me see the leaves. So I like the leaves and the sentiments are what I look at first. Okay. So what you could do is you could stamp this onto the ultra sticky mat right here. and then put your cardstock down, pick it up, and you could have mirrored branches. How cool is that? You also, if you wanted to, you could also flip it and have the branches going up and down, but that's not what we're doing. So we're gonna stay with this. Okay, so we'll pull this one out and let it dry, because remember, we haven't heat set any of these, so got to make sure that it's drying. I just want to see if this will work for my flower. I think it will. Now there's a smaller bud in there, but again, who wants the small bud? I want the ginormous one. I'm just kind of getting it really over in the corner there so that I can pick that up. All right, so I'm going to still leave that on there. Okay, because he's not bothering anybody. Just kind of doing his own little thing there, so he's not bothering anyone. And so I can this time, because the cardstock's not really in the way. Yes, I am going to stamp there, but that won't get in the way. As long as you don't push down, it won't transfer. But I'm heavy-handed, so I always worry I may inadvertently push down. So usually if I'm doing this method where I have stamps going on both sides of the wheel, I will ink it up off the stamp wheel and then bring it on when I'm ready to stamp. So just another tip and another way. If you are I call myself a lazy crafter. Like, I don't want to take it off and clean it right now. So I'm just going to line it up and let it sit there for a minute. All right, so we're going to set this aside too for just a second, because we have not heat set it, or I can heat set it. I can get my gun. I was going to say we haven't heat set it, and it is obsidian. It is a pigment ink. It does take a hot second to dry, literally. I say that, and then it doesn't. Amy, hello. Okay. Oh, thank you, Karen. Yeah, and I like the upside down as well, because I'm a leaf girl. I love leaves. I love leaves, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I know we have a lot of floral lovers, but I love leaves. I can't help it. I cannot help it. Love them. And the flowers are pretty too, but yeah, sometimes I'm like, my leaves need the love. Okay. All right, and that's a hot second. So I'm hoping we're good. The good news is that it will let us know if we were not good. It only takes a second, and it'll let us know if it wasn't dry. It's pretty quick. Okay, so now we're going to go over, I know, greenery. It just, the flowers, the leaves, as I say, the leaves are the bridesmaids, never the bride. So I try to make them the bride every once in a while if I can. So we'll do our leaves, okay? We will ink blend those as well. And then I do want to do one more card with just leaves. I know, shocker. And then we're going to do our flower right now, though, but we will stencil our leaves for this card as well. Okay, so now we're just going to line this little guy up. And I always look for one thing that I think I can line up first. I think that goes there. I could be wrong. Yep, I'm wrong. So that's okay. Then I look again. Oh, no, it probably goes there. There we go. I got it right this time. So look for one thing on your stencil. Do not look at the whole stencil, because you will be like, ah. So it'll just be crazy wild. Okay. Now, as you may notice, this center section is wide open. I don't want to get a lot in there. So I'm just going to come in from the outside. And oh gosh. All right. I'm feeling orangey red today. I'm always feeling orangey red, I guess, but let's go orangey red. It's just, I'm always in an orangey red kind of mood. So we'll go with cherry sweet, which is so bright and beautiful. So bright and beautiful. Okay. And you can like pounce off on the side. You can pounce off on your mat, and then you can pick it up. Okay. So we'll just start blending. And as you know, I'm not a light color kind of gal. So I'm going to go in with I want the full cherry sweet in here. And then we'll bring the orange in as well. And you could use, depending on what you like for brushes, you could also bring in the smalls, I think would work okay. You may have to tape stuff off if you're a wild crafter like myself. If this bothers you, this doesn't bother me. But on stencils, to get your stencil wiped off, so you can go on to your next color, pull your color into your open area. Okay, this way it's not going over here on the cardstock where I don't want it. I'm just pushing that extra color in there onto my actual creation. Okay, so that way there's not such a thing as having too much color on your project. All right, and I am going to pounce off because I don't want to come in with the full, but I do want to add some of this orange color in the center. And maybe we'll do yellow in orangey yellow. So we'll take lemonade stand, I think. I love, this is, as you all know, if you've ever seen me before, I love rainbow. Rainbow anything, sign me up. It doesn't matter what it is. I love rainbow. So I use the Cherry Sweet, Tangerine Dream, and Lemonade Stand excessively because I love it so. It's just so pretty. Okay. So I can go just a scotch, you guys can see, but as you can see, I'm building up kind of, it's close in color, but that's okay. So I'm building up kind of my orange, and you could come back in with the red and add more because you can see like the red's a little lighter here and there, but I like that color play. Okay, so there we go. We have our base layer down. Let me grab my alcohol to clean my stencil. We need stencil cleaning music too. We need all kinds of music. We need music, I guess, is the moral of the story. Okay, so now I like to look at the centers on the stencil because the centers help you out a lot. I don't know why I look there because I always forget the center, but I do look at the center to line up my stencil. It helps me. So see, I wasn't perfect, but I was in the ballpark. I just need to find my seat. Okay, so now I found my seat. I am totally in the zone now. All right, I think we're going to do something crazy. I know you're shocked. I know you're all at home with your jaws on the floor when I say that. Let's go pink. Why not? I mean, is there not a reason to go pink? I can't think of one. Anybody out there think of a reason to not use pink? I can't think of one. So let's go. Let's add some pink. This tickled pink is one of my favorite colors. And again, rainbow, all the things. Add all the color you can. It's so pretty. All right. So I'm going to peek. Oh, okay. Hold on. I got to do the reveal for you. I saw the peak. I like the peak. I'm in love with the peak. Okay. Are you guys ready? You guys ready? Ta-da! Look how pretty. Look how pretty. And you would not, I mean, I don't think most people would say that's, oh yeah, you used tickled pink there. But that's the fun thing. Throw some ink together, see what sticks, literally, see what goes. You know, as I've called somebody before, be a mad chemist, throw it together, see what sticks to the wall, like pasta. So you don't want to be a chemist and cook pasta at the same time. I definitely don't recommend that. All right, so we are going to do, I was just thinking today, my poor Peachy Keen gets no love, like no love. I don't pull it out enough. So let's go Peachy Keen for our first kind of center layer in here. Okay. All right. Then we'll hit it with the lemonade stands. Yes. Yes, Keisha. The pink. I mean, is there ever a reason to not use it? In life, I'm not a pink kind of gal. Like, I don't wear a lot of pink. It's a color that looks good on me. So that's the rub. Because whenever I go with my mom and I'm like, okay, I need a sweater for this occasion, she's like, oh, get pink. Your face lights up. And I'm like, no, get gray, get black, get navy. Now, this is still wet. I don't think you guys can see it, but I can. So in that instance, you just want to be careful when laying your stencil. when you put this stencil down, you want to know it's in the right spot because you can't wiggle. So I'm literally holding it over, and this is going to be the spot. If it's a little off, we are going to go with it, my friends, because that is wet under there. Because again, heavy-handed. I always say that because people will be like, I didn't get the same color. That's because you probably have that amazing skill of being a light-handed crafter. Okay, so we've done our flower, and now we can do our leaves. So here's our flower before we cut it. And I was going to say, you guys saw me with tweezers, correct? All right. So see, play with your colors because you may not have guessed this is what you would end up with. So play with those colors. We're going to let this, because it's a little, you can see the shine there. It's a little wet. So we're going to let that dry while we work on our leaves. My favorite part, the leaves. Yes. Okay. All right. Now, if you're worried about, because I have that little spot, if you're worried about that, then you just want to wipe that up with some water. You do not want to use alcohol on this, okay? Treat this like a photopolymer stamp. No alcohol, okay? And then you know it's squeaky clean. Yes, you get jokes and puns just and crafting all in one. Okay, so here we go. Oh, piece of Dexy fur. It sneaks in, I tell you. Okay. It's like water. It can take care of any surface in this house is cat fur. All right. So now, dun, 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 more Dexy fur. Now we're going to go ahead and get our stencil lined up. Now, on some of these stencils, because it's delicate, I call it fidgety bits. But because it's delicate, sometimes I can't get all the places to line up at once. No biggie. I'm just going to line up my top. I'm going to do everything that's lined up. And plus the other issue, okay, and this is a pro to having the dies, is that you can put the die down, put your stamp in there, and you know it's lined up perfectly to the stencil. Okay, that's an oldie but a goodie trick. We've been doing that for 30 years. It's one of those you definitely need in your toolbox. I didn't do that. Now, if you say, well, I don't like to buy dies, I just want to buy the stencil and the stamp set. How do I do that? All you're going to do is you'll take your stamp and line it up in the stencil outline, okay? Then you'll bring over your plate, pick it up, and you're good to go. Because if it's aligned with the stencil, it would be aligned with the die. Hopefully that makes sense. So if not, maybe take a walk on the Fashion Wild side. You guys are so funny. Okay. Oh, all right. So let's go with Let Us Celebrate, because this is, it's Let Us Celebrate. I mean, you know, yeah. There was a movie and they kept saying, oh, yes, it's a Bergozzi. It's a Bergozzi. That's not really the name. I'm just making a name up, I think. But it's a Bergozzi. You have to get it. It's a Bergozzi. And, you know, that's why I'm kind of like, oh, let us celebrate. It's Let Us Celebrate. Like, it needs no further introduction. It's Let Us Celebrate. Don't you know? It's Let Us Celebrate. So yeah, that's how I feel about Let Us Celebrate. I feel everybody needs Tickled Pink and Let Us Celebrate in their crafty lives. And Rock Collection. Don't forget Rock Collection. I have my passions old and new. All right. And I'm also adding a little extra color to areas that I want extra color in. And you may be saying, okay, but you have a layered stencil, but I don't know where it's going to layer. So I want to make sure places that I want color, that's where it lands. So I'm going to add some extra color where I envision extra color. Now for these little fiddly bits, okay, you can always just put your tweezers down, okay, with Dexy fur apparently. You can put your tweezers down and that will hold it, and then you can blend around it. So hopefully that's another tip for you if you're struggling with that. Fiddly bits. Okay, and because I didn't use the die, I'm going to come down and I'm going to just line this up so I can get my leaves down here done. So I was a little crooked there, but nobody will know because we all keep crafty secrets here. And the card person who receives this card will have no idea unless they come watch the live, and then they'll be like, oh, my card was crooked? What? Okay. Hello, everybody. Hello, as you're all coming in. Hello, hello. It's so good to see you all. This is my favorite. I literally wish we had like 24/7 live. Crafting, just different crafters popping on to craft. It would be gorgeous. It's just so fun. Okay, so that's beautiful. Love it. Because I added in that extra kind of color. So I have some dark, I have some light. You can stop here. Oh, Tina, you got it great. And you got it at a great deal too. That was an awesome deal that they're having on there. So same thing. If some of my leaves don't line up because I didn't line it up, with the die. Okay, I'm just going to guess on some of the placement. Some of the placement, we're going to keep it. All right, so there. I'm happy there. Now, I think we are going to go in with Easy Breezy. I've been stuck. I'm going to be honest. I was thinking some silver lining, but I really, really think Easy Breezy would be fun. I know. I know. If Simon Hurley and Amy Tangerine named inks together, can you imagine? I mean, how cool would that be? Because yes, there are some fun ink names. Love fun ink names. Ours generally make me hungry, especially the Frozen Delights. I'm like, ooh, I need ice cream. All right. So I'm going to go and add, okay, my Easy Breezy, beautiful teal on here. Okay, and I'm adding it to the spots that I know that I'm all lined up, in position, as my husband would say, in position to be in position. My husband was a basketball coach, so he had a lot of lines like that. In position to be in position. Okay. There we go. All right. And then get this. All right. And I wish I had reveal music for you guys, but ta-da! So it's a really pretty, I hope if you have this set and you have the inks, I hope you'll give Silver Lining a try as well. It is a really beautiful combination between Let Us Celebrate and the Silver Lining. It really is a pretty, pretty combination. All right, so now is the time. It is the time. Oh, goodness. And I only have like 50 people watching me. And this is not my strong suit, but it's not my strong suit because I don't practice. So thank you guys for being with me and supporting me as I work on my cranky cutting skills. One day, maybe they'll be happy cutting skills. They won't even be fussy cutting. I always wonder who came up with the name of fussy cutting. I would like to know if anybody knows that. Is there like a historical fact on fussy cutting? And I wonder why they named it fussy cutting. Do they get fussy when they are cutting? I'd like to know the story. We have some names in our industry for things that I'm like, I wish I could have been there, like when that was decided or that was named, or how cool. Okay. All right. I'm not cranky yet. I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right. Keeping my scissors at their angle. I'm moving my paper. After watching, the queen of fussy cutting for me is Lydia. Lydia is my like fussy cutting guru. I watch her fussy cut and it's just amazing. But she does it a lot. So that's the secret, my friends. All right. This is too much paper for me. I also can't have a lot of paper. That just bothers me. I like a small. So hopefully my center is dry. I think it is. That's like the I think I can. I think I can. I think it is. Okay. Ah! All right. So there's one area I don't like. I've created one area I don't like. All right. Here we go. And the honest thing is, you know, one of the things I tell myself is that I'm like, oh, die cutting is so much faster. But I was just, you know, contemplating while cutting. I'm like, but is it really? Because by the time I got my plates out, well, maybe if for an organized crafter, die cutting was faster because they're like, oh, I have my machine right here. It's ready to go. I have to pick mine up. And I did it! Woohoo! Yay! Yay! Thank you for being here on this momentous crafting occasion. I appreciate it. Okay. And of course, you knew this was coming, right? You guys knew this was coming. All right, but we're not going to stick it down yet. We're going to put the tape on, okay? But that's true. That is true, Barbara. That is so true. You know, you have more control over it. I like that. I don't want to say, I don't like using the P words, perfect or perfectionist, or I like the look of that continuous border that is all the same size around, because that P word can be dangerous in crafting because everybody's amazing. All right, so this is where it's going to live. This is where I want this to live. Now, if you want to, you can stamp directly onto your panel, but I want to use the little trick that I was showing you guys, okay? So let's use the little trick of this. And you can even, you don't need, we just need it to hold on to the pieces. We don't really need the innards. So I can pull off some of the innards here. Okay, there we go. See, we just need the innards. That's all we need. Okay, so we got the innards. Let's move that for a hot second. And I'm going to hand stamp. Hand stamping and fussy cutting, you guys. Can you even imagine that? Holy Toledo. All in one day. Oh, goodness. There are too many to choose from. Do you guys feel that sometimes? We love all the sentiments, but then we like look and we're like, oh my God, what do I pick? The panic. What do I pick? Okay, I'm going to do you brighten up my day as long as it's short enough. Nope, not short enough. The one I picked doesn't work for my trick. Okay, so let's do you make me smile, because I am so blessed to have so many crafty friends that make me smile. So I'm very blessed. So I'm using my crafter's alignment mat here. Okay, this thing is the magic. If you're looking for the magic, this is the magic. If you want to line up sentiments and stuff on card bases and you like to hand stamp, if you journal, if any, it just, the lines, oh, it cleans like a dream, because as you may imagine, I'm a messy crafter. It cleans like a dream. It's just absolutely fabulous. Everybody needs one in their lives, I feel. That would be on my top 10 supply list if I ever made one, would be this mat and obsidian. Okay, so now we're going to see if we can stamp straight. We're doing a lot of fun things today, aren't we? Even if we don't stamp straight, we're going to go with it because, there we go, because we're on the clock, so to speak. Okay, that works for me. So then all I have to do is carefully, because the ink is still wet, so you could even just cut it off, okay? Just trim it from there, because like I said, there was one section that I should have put something in there. Then I'm going to pick it up with tweezers because I don't want to stick my big old chunky fingers in there. And then I'm just going to trim off, because remember we have that tape on there that's holding this on there. And I don't want to pull the tape off the back and do that because I'll have to handle it. So there we go. So there's our sentiment. Okay. So now we can, so just another way, if you have these at home, another thing that you can use from this, you know, which is cool. Oh, yeah. We love to go with the flow, especially on a crafty adventure, man. Sometimes you're driving down the road and you see a good crafty technique or something you didn't think of doing. Gotta stop. It's like, you know, if you see you're going, my aunt loves puzzles. Like, love doesn't even seem like the strongest enough word. She is obsessed with puzzles. She has a puzzle room. It's like all of us with our crafty rooms. She has a puzzle room. So she loves them. So anytime we're on a road trip, if she sees the word puzzle, we are stopping. So it's just like, that's what my crafty adventures. So if it's your first time joining us, yes, it's always like this. It's a very we go with the flow driven kind of thing, because it just, planning is good. Planning is good. It has its place, but I love being able to come on and be very, like, somebody says, "Oh, how do you do this?" or "How do you do that?" or "Why did you do it that way?" I love being able to stop and just go crafty wild. All right. Hi. Yes, I know that P word is very dangerous. It's very dangerous. Perfectionist, perfect. It's, those words are very dangerous. Okay. So I'm going to put this about here. Okay. And then you could, if you wanted to kind of tuck this in, you could kind of tuck it in over there. I'm going to make the choice. And I don't know, I need to stop. I need to start doing something different. I'm going to just pop it in the place over there. Now, what you could do as well, say you wanted to zhuzh, right? Zhuzh. We could add, and I still haven't trimmed this piece down. You could add a strip of the gold or the silver, any of our colors behind there. You could do some glitter cardstock behind there. Lots of options. So if you're like, well, that's white on white, I don't know. I don't know if that's kind of in my kind of style. Maybe pop some color back there. Thank you. And yes, I agree. Keisha, you are so right. I have had cards that I thought I messed up like bad. Like, I'm like, okay, like, you're going to be bin living soon, big fella. Like, you are not working with me today. and so, but some of those, if you stick with them, they come out to be your best cards ever. And so stick with those cards that you think are just causing trouble and being troublemakers, because sometimes it's those crafty troublemakers that end up being the best card you will ever make. Okay, so quickly, and we may run out of time for doing, thank you. And I'll bring them back. I will bring them back. I promise, the two that we've done. Well, we'll say 1.5, because I haven't taken the gold. I haven't attached the gold, but I have to cut the center out of it. And I just don't think you guys are going to find that wild and invigorating watching me cut the center of a card out. Okay, so when I'm placing my leaves, I'm paying close attention. I don't want that trapped space as much as possible. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now you may think, oh, okay, so I'll put this one over here. No, I'm going to rotate and hope that lines up where I want it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook these in so that they're friends. Okay, I want those guys to be best buddies. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in, I have an extra flip plate because, trust me, I need more flip plates in my life. There's always a reason for another flip plate, right? Because that way you don't have to clean stamps. You just keep playing. And I hope these live events really inspire you to get this out and have a play. And if you don't have it and you're like, wow, I really like the versatility in that, I like the sentiments, it's on the sale, guys. So, and today, if you spend $29, you get free shipping in the US. So, it's like, oh, some of those days I always go look and I'm like, okay, I was meant to shop today because there's a percentage off, or something I've been stalking for a while and my wish list is there. Okay, so this is going to work. I'm happy with that. Ooh, okay. I think this is going to turn out better than I intended. I'm very excited by this. Okay. Okay. All right. Ooh, okay. So I had originally thought, and this is why you got to go with the journey. Okay. You got to go with the journey. I had originally thought then we'd come back, and we can do it. We can do it. Just so I'll show you. Let me see. Can we fit those two? No. So we can fit him in there, kind of. So what we're going to do, okay, because it doesn't matter anymore about that big fella. You can clean really quickly because we're going to put thing over there. I need to start buying black cloths, you guys, because mine are covered in obsidian and then they all look dirty. They're clean, but I need to buy black microfiber cloths. Next time I'm shopping, can you guys warn me? Okay. All right. Will this fit on my block? I mean, since we're going wild and crazy, let's go totally wild and crazy. All right. So, because we're just going to ink up right about there. Okay. So, and I love block stamping. I know a lot of people are like, block stamping. And so, but I love block stamping. But I've practiced, so I feel confident in it. So I think that's the secret and why I need to work on my fussy cutting more. Okay, so there we go. And if it stamps on the mat, no biggie. And actually, I don't even need it to be in there anymore. I'm just going to move it over there. Even if it gets on the back, it's okay. Nobody's going to know. And I know you guys won't tell, so I'm good. Okay, so I'm just going to flip it. Actually, I could just put it right there. Okay. And then I'm going to bring it in. And, oh, I can put a little bit more on this one. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay. Okay. Now, lots of options at this juncture. Okay. I love options. I love a lot of options, even better. So you could go through, you could color all of these in with the stencils. Okay. Or you can leave it. You can leave it as well. The other thing that you can do, and let me see, you can put like a bigger sentiment in the center. This one's been in my drawer, so don't mind it. It's been, the stamp wheel has kind of beaten it up a little because this is very delicate. This is the Fancy Hugs. But look at how pretty that is. By just adding that gold touch to it, you've done nothing. You've just stamped it out. I will clean it, I promise, as soon as I go off air. But you've just stamped it out. The other thing, you could also use some of my new favorites, which I don't happen to have one near me at the moment. The Timeless Sentiments. So I have a bunch, but here's what they look like. So you could put one of those in the center. Okay. That would be very beautiful. Now, what I would do if we had more time, I would do a rainbow of the leaves. Okay. That's what I would do. So I would do red, orange, yellow. I always think of them because they're ruby red, orange cream, warm sunshine. Then we have lagoon and deep iris. So that's what I would do for those. And I would probably do this one in lagoon because it's over here. I don't want to do those two in red. I mean, you could, it looks close enough to be one of those. And actually, I do have some of the sentiments. Let me just grab them. They're on the other side of the desk. I wasn't going to do it, but you guys can see what I did during the power outage. I may have gone a little overboard, but this is what I did while the power was out. Okay, but it gives you lots and lots of options. This would, let me get the dirty stamp wheel mat out of the way. Let me see, let me move that there for you. And I will clean this, I promise, Tracy. But look how pretty just that pop. Now it's just on, it's from our new kind of tealy glitter paper. I can't remember the pack. I'm so sorry. I know we have fairy dust. It's not fairy dust. Golden Sunrise. It's not from that. It's not the Milky Way. It's the other one. And it's just, it's beautiful. But look at the simple that adds. Yes, this is all the same set, Karen. This is all one set. And that's why this set won over Cherry Blossom. Because I love Cherry Blossom. That is one of my all-time favorites as well. And it literally took me about an hour to pick. And I'll just show you. These are the inside. These are the pre-made cards. So there are some more that you could create. And then here as well, some more ideas. I love this blues and the grays. You can even use that as a sympathy card. I know we hate to make them, but you could, and even that sentiment works. Always here for you. So, and there is a stencil and there is the die set as well. So check out that complete bundle. My set is filthy, but let me put the backer on, and it's missing some things because they're dirty. They're obsidianized. But let me just show you. Yeah. So you get the tall stem with leaves. Let me come out a little bit. Tall stem with leaves. You get 2 different buds. You get this huge leaf cluster here. And this fella's not that small either. He's a pretty big guy. Then you get all the sentiments. Thanks for always having my back. You brighten my day. Thinking of you. Hello there. You are precious. Always here for you. You make me smile. Hope you had a fabulous day. Thanks for believing in me. So wonderful sentiments and all of this. I mean, so many ideas with this one set. So check out, go to the, oh, thank you, Keisha, so much. So check this out on the Altenew website because you can really get a nice close-up look. But so for this one, sorry if you have vertigo or something, and I'm in, out, in, out, in, out. So yeah, look at the teal is pretty. You could go and keep it just a black and white card. That's beautiful as well. I think that's actually what I'm going to do with this one. We have, this is from the, oh no, this is from the Shimmering Shores. This is the lightest color of the Shimmering Shores there. Oh, Karen, I say the same thing all the time. And nope. I see something and I'm like, yep, sign me up, add to cart. And this is from the Golden Sunrise, which I used this whole set during the blackout. I had to order 3 more. Thankfully, it was on sale over New Year's. So it's, the traditional black, white, gold kind of color combo. But I mean, this really, then you could also go, I also did one that I think would be pretty with this as well. You could have the black and then there's that same. But look at the difference. Just adding vellum to that. Look how much that lightens up. So always think of that too when you're using your die sets. This is the Timeless Sentiments die set. Absolutely amaze. Love it. It will not, it literally is right in my left side. It will not leave me. It is my favorite thing that Altenew's released so far this past releases. So yeah, so there's that. But yeah, and I mean, this one is, you could go, this is the Dazzling Diamonds, which is pretty. It's so pretty. But I'm not sure, Sue. I'm not sure. Have a look. I know there were some alcohol reinkers. There are lots of embossing. This week's sale was really good. I was like, oh my gosh, because it was like, what do I pick? And then I saw this and I'm like, okay, I know what to pick. And so it was done. Okay, so I think we're going to go with this. And I just want to be able to show you guys finished cards at the end besides. And I'll actually show, in case some of you don't know, and I don't know why I took so much foam tape. I don't know the answer to that question. Please don't ask that question. I don't know the answer to that one. I will show you in case you are a newer crafter. And when I say gut cardstock, you're like, she's doing what now? Let me just show you what that means. And then we'll show off the cards. And then I will leave you guys to create your own inspired piece. Okay, so I'll put that on after. So what I mean is I don't need this whole piece of cardstock, okay? And I have a trimmer that has a little wire in here. So I put it over to a 1/2 inch, okay? And then I line up the bottom of my blade with the cardstock. And then I take it so that the top of my blade is at the cardstock. So I've got my line. I flip, okay? And I'm going to do the same exact thing. So I'm going to bring it down and then just don't go. Because you don't want to cut all the way down. You're making a frame. So this is what it means when somebody says that. I know people have asked that before. They're like, what does that mean? That doesn't sound very good. And it's excellent because it saves us beautiful cardstock. So I know some people don't bother taking this step. They're like, it's all right, no worries. But it also makes it a scotch lighter too when mailing. And the thing is I can get a couple of the Timeless Sentiments out of this. So that is honestly my thinking. Okay, so then we're going to come in and we can go ahead and put this on. I've got my glue tape here. I'm going to be careful with it because I assume it's dry, but We've all been there. And then the card's like, ha ha, I wasn't dry. Ha ha ha. You thought I was dry, not dry. Don't know why I just put the tape runner in the middle. That's a question for the masses. And I got some teal ink at the top. Okay. Yeah, I had some ink on my desk. So I had gone a little rogue. That's okay. That's all right. I'm not worried about it. It's okay. It didn't get in the center of my card, so I can do something. So there's card number 1. And now that we're putting cards out, you can see the horror that is my desk while I show you the cards. Okay, and then we'll take this. And then another tip I have when putting sentiments on, and I just figured this out, and I've been doing this almost 30 years. Oh, yeah, that's a big number. I got to stop throwing that number around here. Okay, but use your tweezers when you place your sentiment, because if you're using your fingers are blocking part of your sentiment. So this will help you to line it up. And I'm using my mat. So I'm trying to get, so it looks like the thank goes across there. Now, as well, you can add some gold splatter if you wanted to. I might add some black enamel dots, actually, and I'm embracing this black and white kind of theory. And the good thing about doing things like that is you can have a set that you can have to go. Yes, I've done a few with this. Yes, the Timeless Sentiments die does come with the shadow. Let me see. I think mine is right here. Let me see if it's right here. Yeah, right here. So this die set, it comes with the top one and then the shadow as well. So you get both. So mine's a little dirty because I used it a lot, and you get hello, you, hugs, friend, love, and thank you. So there they are put together down at the bottom. But yes, you get both the shadow and the top layer. Okay. So there are the cards that we made today. As you can see, definitely differences. So you could keep up this black and white theme and make a beautiful set. You could add some gold in there as touches, as splatter, make a beautiful set. If you wanted to with this one, use black splatter and you're keeping that black and white theme. And then again, you could just stamp this all in black and white and have a theme. But then you can use the stencils and add color and try mixing. Let's mix some colors and try some new ones out there. Oh, wow. Congratulations on the Better Press plate. Those are so much fun. Those are just so much fun. Thank you guys so much. I'll pop up for a quick second to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me. I really did that day. I kept looking at the clock and I'm like, I'm supposed to be crafting with my friends. I need power. I need power. No power. So I tried. But thank you so much for joining me. As always, it's so much fun. I always look forward to coming back and having a crafty session with you guys and sharing our passion for all things crafty and all things Altenew. And from all of us at Altenew, thank you so much for allowing us to help you craft your life. We'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.